Good morning, good morning, good morning. Kathy needed me to rub her back. Her back was hurting, so me being the hus- me being the husband of the year of the century, I had to rub her back for her. So, uh, so good morning, beautiful.
Morning. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Morning, beautiful. Yesterday, when I was young, Kathy and I, we went to Tecumseh, but on our way to Tecumseh, we stopped at Katnick Orchards. I'm a massager, that's right. We stopped at Katnick Orchards because they have a deal going on right now. Last year's potatoes, um, 25-pound bag or half bushel for $5. So we only bought one bag of red potatoes. And on our way home, I said, it's not that far from the house anyway. So on our way home, I said, I think I'm gonna run over, but they're gonna have this deal till the 19th, I guess. I'm gonna run over to them again, and I'm gonna buy maybe 2 more bags of red and another bag of white, or and I'm gonna can a bunch of potatoes. I have a ton of jars downstairs. Um, I would think probably 40 or 50 quarts of potatoes would be good. It's a lot of French fries, you're right. But at $5 a bag, they're not. These things aren't sprouted or nothing. They're not. They haven't been washed. They're covered in dirt, which is a good thing. So wash them up real good, scrub them, clean them. You know, cut the bad spots out of them, and then can them up. I remember when I was a kid, we never bought potatoes in a 5 or 10 pound bag. They always come in 25 or 50-pound bags. Eyes will be watching. That's right. I know. Gotta get busy. It is 23 here. Yep. I do it in quarts and in pints, just like your video. Dice some smaller up, for doing soup or hash, and then the bigger ones, used for fried potatoes. $49 degrees in paradise? Well, I said it's 23 here, so it's chilly. Oh, see, the other day when we was talking about shirts on sale and how much they were and stuff, I went to Amazon and I ordered 2 black t-shirts and 1 blue t-shirt. And then I ordered this. It's got 5 plugs on her. Plus you can plug in your USB cords. And it's got a screw so you can mount it right to the wall so it don't come out. That was only $9. That was a good deal. So I got that because we got all these chargers here, with cords hanging out of them. Might as well just put them on one wall. We got a stand over there in the dining or the living room, which you can plug in, and then you just put the phones on it right there or whatever. The kids' tablets and. Right now, I have one of them power strips right here, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 chargers plugged into it right now. It was $18.75 for the shirt. At TSC for this same shirt was $24.75 or something like that. And I had them delivered for free. Oh. Just got to get a hold of Amazon and tell them that their delivery guy can't read worth a shit. So, excuse my language. They wanted to know where I want it delivered to, and I told them I typed it in specifically. Put box on park bench next to side door. By garage. Okay? Couldn't get any more specific than that. We get home and I seen the Amazon guy was down around the corner. We look and I didn't see no package on the park bench. Well, then I look and there it is on the picnic table, on the bench part of the picnic table. Evidently, this guy doesn't know the difference between a park bench and a picnic table. Yeah. Did she used to say stitching time? We'll save 9. I know all about FedEx and UPS. They're the worst drivers in the world. Anyways, we went to Tecumseh to Family Dollar. Bought 2 packages of toilet paper and 2 packages of paper towels. Got some Easter candy, um, some Arizona watermelon, and I think that's about it. Oh, and some dryer sheets. And then we went to Burger King for a disappointing meal. Everybody talks on how good the Burger King is in Tecumseh, so we went there a couple months ago for lunch, and it wasn't bad. It was better. It was better than the one in town. Well, then we went there last night and ordered. I ordered a double Whopper with bacon on it, and she ordered a double Whopper, regular, and just a small drink and small onion ring. Well, one onion ring had about 10 or 15 onion rings in it, and the other one had like 4 in the box. Okay. But the onion rings were in a pan under a heat lamp. I almost chipped a tooth because they were frozen. Huh. I know how it is there, junkyard. If you mail a letter here in town to somebody in town, it goes to Jackson, Michigan first, and then comes back to Adrian. No. Nope. Yeah. Um, I was what was that before they delivered Amish? I was trying to read to see if I missed something. Oh, that's the way it is. Anyways, I ordered this Amazon stuff Monday afternoon, and it said delivered tomorrow. So I couldn't believe it. Now I did order a different shirt, but that shirt wasn't going to be here till the 20th. I said, well, I ordered 2 blacks and then a charcoal gray or whatever, and that charcoal gray wasn't going to be here till the 20th. So I just ordered 2 blacks and a navy blue or a blue or whatever the hell it was. And oh, I'm lucky. Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky they slowed the truck down. You're right. Huh. So, yeah, I'm lucky. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. I don't know why they just don't have 2 people there, one to drive the truck and the other one to toss it out in the yard, like like the old newspaper boys used to do. Uh, Yeah. If it's not there positively overnight, it's free. Yeah, sure it is. Yeah. Now the girl, she got left out last night because there was no kids here. 2:15 this morning, I feel something on my chest, and I look open my eyes, and there's this cat looking at me face to face. I said, "What's the matter, pumpkin?" So she bats my arms. She wants me to hold her, so she lays down on top of me, puts her head underneath my chin. She slept there for like an hour, and then she decided she had to get up. Yeah. Well, it should be like Domino's Pizza. If it's not there in 30 minutes, it's free. Or $3 off or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Like the Ninja Turtles used to say, never pay full price for late pizza. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. Just don't buy the Chinese stuff. Pizza, pizza. I'll tell you what, if everybody in the United States quit buying Chinese junk for 1 month, China would probably go bankrupt. You won't be able to buy anything. Yeah. We need to start making it in America again. It's the politicians' fault, honestly, because they give all the incentives to, not have your factory in America. So all these factories moved everything out of America because of the policies that the politicians put in place. It was cheaper to make it abroad and then ship it here. Well, now if you make it more expensive to ship it here, it's going to be a lot cheaper to build it here than it is to ship it here. I hear you, Junkyard, but then again, I heard Elon Musk asked you if he could borrow some money from you. So I don't know. That's what I heard. He was looking for a $20 bill for some reason. I said Elon Musk was looking to borrow money from you. Yeah. Yeah, and all he wanted was $20. I don't know what he wanted it for, but he was looking for a $20 bill. I couldn't help him out. Have you seen that stamp that they're selling now online? It's a stamp that you stamp on the $20 bill right on the corner by the White House. It says Donald Trump lives here. I know. Everybody's complaining about global warming, and the United States is like 1% of the cause of global warming. China is like 60% or whatever of the problem. But yet we're supposed to, do our damnedest to cut down on global warming, on the pollution. We did that back in the 70s. China just never caught up with the idea. Nope, they're not. By the way, good morning, Skeeta. And by the way, Junkyard, if you won't be able to buy anything from China, don't worry about it, because, FedEx and UPS couldn't find your place to begin with. Yeah. Yeah. I need a grant too. I need $1 million grant to see if owning a hot dog cart in Lower Michigan is feasible or not. I want to set up a study. Speaking of Globetrotters there, Skeeta, I remember the Globetrotters in the 60s and the 70s, early 80s. Yeah, so I can charge my pacemaker. Um, Now those were the Globetrotters that I enjoyed watching. These Globetrotters nowadays, not so much. You need a gold mine now, because gold is what, almost $3,000 an ounce. Hmm. Ouch. Kick in the globes. Are you going to Harbor Freight Black Friday sale this week? Junkyard? I don't know what they have, but the members only. That is interesting. I just put my phone on so I could watch the live stream, make sure it's not buffering. I did not turn on advertising today. That's right. Buy it before it doubles. It's almost time for shots. I just got a notification from Harbor Freight about being a member and, the sale on Friday, but I'm not a member. Huh. Well, I guess then shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. Shots, everybody, shots. It's Water Glass Wednesday, 4 shots. Because I didn't even go into the analytics and do that, so. Let me go in and okay. No. It is cold out. Good morning, Kathy. You're looking lovely as ever. Yeah. I forgot. I could have got me a grab stick or whatever for free. Uh, Harbor Freight does have some good stuff, but it's got a lot of junk too. So, yep, to grab a dog. Yeah. Um, I don't know if you know what Ace Drill is, but Ace Drill, uh, were were probably the best drill bits that were ever made for years. And it's a company that's just down the street, mile and a half. Well, about 20 years ago, they quit making drill bits, or probably 25 years ago, they quit making drill bits. They started buying them from China. And then they weren't sharpened or anything. So Ace Drill here would sharpen the bits and then they would stamp their name on it. And I've never liked Ace Drill bits ever since because they don't hold the edge. They won't, it takes forever to drill through something and then they blew on you. They're not worth a damn. Yeah, that's right. Hey, then you could have used that $20 for something else, like a massage. So, yeah, well, that's what they are. Acme drill bits. You're right. I'm glad we're thinking alike here, Junkyard. Oh. Anyways, these shirts I bought them long. They have the XLs and then they have the XL longs, and that's what I bought was the XL long. I like it. Probably next month I'll buy another 3 more or 4 more, and then that way I have one for every day of the week. There you go. Tax deductible. Yep. Well, see, I got a long body, so Kevin and we are the same height. I have a longer body and short legs, and he has longer legs and short body. So, see, he has I don't know. I think he's like a 34 or something like that inseam. I'm a 30 or 32. Depends on who makes the pants. Yep, knuckle dragger. I do have long arms though. I need to get me a cup of coffee. What's the kitty doing? Come here. Yeah, you're a pretty girl. She likes to attack me when I'm moving my hands up here. She's not hurting me. She just wants to play, but you're fine. Sit right here for a second. Hold on. Hold on. I don't want you falling. You're getting too heavy to be jumping like that. Afraid she's going to break a leg or something. Yeah. Yeah. And it probably wasn't near as good as the coffee you get at home either. Clean my glasses. My prescription glasses. No, the readers. Damn. I don't know. How big was a cup of coffee there, Junkyard? You think Pocahontas every time you go in there? I bet. Do you guys know Elizabeth Warren? She says she's family. Or maybe you got to take a picture of her and put it, and have them put it on the wall. Oh, we got an ad. We're making money now. I seen a thing yesterday on Facebook. They were advertising um, crab meat. Leg crab meat, real crab meat. Um, they were individually frozen and processed, frozen and packaged. Not individually, but they were individually frozen and then packaged. And in a 4-pound package, they're not it's just leg meat or whatever. But in a 4-pound package, it was like $385 for a 4-pound package. Yeah. And they're telling you how wonderful this crab meat is. It's been cooked. It's already, it's succulent. It's got a sweet flavor to it. And for 4 pounds for $384, $85, I don't think so. That's 80 some dollars a pound. Or 90 some dollars a pound. Somewhere around there, $87. But the good news is, if you spend over $50, they would ship it for free. Well, I looked all through their products and there wasn't nothing in there less than $265. I like crab and I like lobster. But if I have to pull it out of the shell, I'm not working that hard to eat anything. No. They had scallops, bay scallops and stuff, $295 for a 4-pound package. Now the lobster, if you wanted 20 pounds of it, was like $1,300 for 20 pounds. Yeah, use food stamps. There you go. Yeah. What the hell? It's not your money. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's over at Walmart now for another 20 some days. Hmm. Yeah, I always got Walmart here. They'll open up a few lanes when it's welfare day. No. Ah. So, anything new since I wasn't here yesterday? Anybody got anything they want to share? Huh. Well, I'll probably be closing the one in our town. See. Yeah, now you tell me. I look it up. It's only just for Easter Sunday, the 20th. Yeah. 1,700 stores, it says. 1,700 plus stores for 24 hours on Easter Sunday, April 20th, to allow employees time off to show appreciation for the dedication, according to the statement from the company CEO, Marvin Ellison. Hmm. Well, they're not the only ones. Target, Costco, Sam's Club, Best Buy, and Aldi's are all closing for the day. Huh. Damn. They keep this up, it's going to be by like the 1960s and 70s again. Well, they're not even open until noon on Sunday. Imagine that. Oh, yeah. Hopefully. I guess the stock market took a hell of a rebound yesterday. Why aren't you feeling well today? Well, it is 4:30 in the morning there. I got up at 4:30 this morning. Actually, 4:15 I got up. Had to use the little boy's room. I went back in there to lay back down. Sat there for 5 minutes and said, this is absolutely worthless because I'm going to have to get up at 5:30 anyway. So I just got up, come out here, made coffee. Well, you better go get it checked. Huh. Well, I got an appointment to go see the doctor, but I'm going to have them look at that. That bump on. Don't ever get old. It ain't worth it. I went to the I went to the city council meeting Monday night. we have a city, the city administrator um, resigned a couple of months ago. He was basically asked to resign because he was doing some shady stuff. But in order to resign, we had to pay him off. So they had the chief of the police for our small city. They had him as acting administrator, and this would be the fourth time that he has stepped in to be acting administrator for other times when the other administrators were on leave or, you know, on vacation or whatever. So so one of the city council members was talking about putting him in the position permanently if he'd accept the job. And another person, another council member, made a motion to hire him as the new city administrator. Well, another council member said this isn't right because we want to get a study, you know, spend $30,000 on a study group to go out and find us the best candidate for our city. And another woman on the city council said, yeah, that's, you know, $20,000-$30,000 is nothing. If we find the right candidate. Now, I understand that, you know, in the scope of things, $20,000 or $30,000 isn't a lot of money when you talk about millions. But it's a lot of money when it comes out of our pocket. So they had comments on it, and I got up there and I said, you know, I agree. Hire him because he's been doing a job. So if he wants the job, give it to him. If you don't want him to have the job, then let him go back to being the chief of police, and we don't have a city administrator till you find one. And spend $30,000 on finding a city administrator by the time you find one, and then you hire that one, and then you pay him to move because we pay for relocation. Right? You pay him to move. You know, how much money are we going to save if we just hire him? $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, most likely. So then the city clerk retired, and they have an acting city clerk right now that's been doing the job since September because the city clerk that retired had health issues, and she's kept her job until she can retire out. So she hasn't been there, but she's been on medical leave, and now she can retire out. So I brought up the fact that this woman's been doing it since, you know, September. Why not give her the job instead of seeking applications for somebody else? Evidently, she's good enough to do the job now. Why not let her have the job? It only makes sense. You know, why have somebody go and do a job for you and then kick them to the curb and hire somebody else? And then when that person that you hired takes a dump, you have them come back in and fill in again. So why don't you just cut out the middleman, save all the, because if they hired somebody for the city clerk from out of town or whatever, they'll have to pay to have them moved here and everything else. So why not just save the money and hire the person that's already doing the job?
They're both empty. What? They're both empty.
Say it. Cobra.
You buy them for us?
Yeah.
Both of them, one for both.
No.
Well, one package.
No. No, slow her down. Where's the ones that you already took?
Oh, I finished this.
Huh.
I finished this.
Well,
But I don't know. They
you could take some in a baggie.
the city council, they talk about all the money that they want to spend, but they don't realize it comes from us. We have like the Adrian Inn, like I've been telling you about the hotel that we paid $800,000 for, put $300,000 into it so we could let people live in it for while because their apartment was condemned, their apartment building was condemned. Well, now they need to tear it down. So if they don't get, they were looking for authorization to pay to clean out the building so they could get the asbestos abatement in there to clean out all the asbestos so they could tear it down. And they want $30,000 to clean out the building. That's to take all the furniture and stuff out of there. I thought, well, why don't they have the inmates from the jail come haul that stuff out? All it takes is roll-off boxes. Have them throw it in roll-off boxes and get rid of it. But they don't think that way. They want to hire a consulting team to find out who's the best guy for the job, then hire them to clean out the thing.
How much is that?
You're right. Well, then one city administrator or council member was saying it's going to cost $750,000 to tear it down.
Put it up.
And get rid of it. Well, 2 months ago, the guy that works for the city, that's the head of the public works department or whatever, said his crew can tear it down for $265,000 and get rid of it. Okay, so that's a hell of a lot of. That's $500,000. That's a lot cheaper than $750,000. And we could do the work ourselves, and them guys get paid because they're already working. Well, then the acting city administrator said, well, we got a bid on the property. And they said, well, what is the bid? The Adrian College, which butts up to this property, offered $250,000 for the property, plus they will tear it down. So I voiced my opinion on that. I said, no. Why give them something for $250,000 and they spend another $50,000 or $300,000-$400,000 to get it tore down? And now they got a property worth millions of dollars because it's like 12 or 15 acres on commercial property, which butts up to their property. And we'll never get a penny of tax money from it because it is it's tax deductible, or it's a nonprofit. I said, why don't you tell them $1,000,001? That's what we got into it, because we ain't making no more ground. That's the only ground there is, and if they want it, they can have it for $1,000,001 and tear it down and get rid of it. That way, we're not out any money. We're already, they think $1 million, is nothing. It's our money, and they're just pissing it away. They're getting a hell of a deal anyways because it's going to be tax exempt after they tear it down, so they never have to pay property tax on it anyways. We need to get common sense back in the city government. They bought a bunch of properties downtown. Some of them were, they give $500,000 for a condemned property in downtown. The old newspaper plant where they used to have make the newspaper. And it is a hazardous waste site. They give $500,000 for it. And then they give $200,000 or $300,000 for the building next door and $150,000 for the house next door to that. And they spent, $1.5 million or something like that for property along there, because they want to put apartment complexes there along the river. Okay, the river's nasty for one thing, but they're going to have to spend. They tried to get a grant for $5 million to clean up the hazardous waste from the state, and the state said no. So now we're into it for all that money that we spent for all the property, and if we don't get a grant to clean it up, we're going to be in it for $5 million to clean it up, because that's our responsibility now, and that's due to the old city administrator. That was one of the reasons why they threw his ass out, because he bought this property. He said we had buyers for it and that we could get grants to clean it up, and they were guaranteed that we were going to get them grants. And they asked him right at a city council meeting, are you sure we can get these grants? Yep, I'm positive. They bought the property because somebody else wanted the property to build those, apartments on the river. And I'm pretty sure it's a friend of his. Well, they bought it because they knew they could get the grants faster and easier than a single, a contractor could, or a company could. A city could get it easier. That's why they bought them. This guy didn't put up no money. He didn't pay for all this property, to give us some money to buy them, so we could, have it cleaned up. No, we did it all on ourselves, or the city administrator did. Now we're in for like $6.5 million on property that we'll never, ever get our money out of. Even if we get the grant to clean it up and they sell all those places, it'll take 100 years to get your $6.5 million back in tax money. Yeah, good afternoon, Kevin. I seen the video you guys having the John Deere parade, you and the family. That was pretty neat. The girls and you, all 4 John Deere tractors going up and down the street. You guys look like Kiwanis out there, in the circus cars. That was pretty cool. I didn't know it was a parade there in town, but I'm seriously thinking about it. I got a friend that's running for city council, in his how can you put it? His slogan is vote for common sense. Yeah. We got 3 city commissioners that are up for re-election this year. And the 3 that are up for election, 3 of the 4 that voted for point of sale. Point of sale is where you have to have, if you go to sell your house, you have to have it inspected. The roof's got to be good, the siding's got to be good, the windows, foundation, everything's got to be in tip-top shape in order to sell it. And if it isn't in tip-top shape, you have 2 weeks to fix it. And if you don't fix it in 2 weeks, they can fine you every day it's not fixed. Well, we tried to bring it up that how in the hell are you going to get a contractor to do anything in 2 weeks? It'll take 2 weeks to get somebody out there to even give you a bid. And by the time you get financing for it, if you have to have financing for it, it could be another month. So now you're into it for 6 weeks and they ain't even started the job. So anyways, 3 of the 4 that voted for the point of sale are up for re-election, and I'm pretty sure them 3 are gone. Because they went around and citizens around here went around to repeal, and they signed petitions to repeal the point of sale. And instead of repealing the point of sale, the city commission voted to put it up on the next election for a vote. They could have repealed it. They could have said, oh, we're just going to drop it. And they didn't. And I think that's what's going to cost them their city commissioner jobs. I thought about running for city council, but I would be arrested the first day. No, not Alan the Donut Man. No. So. Got a retired teacher / principal. You had the principal from Tecumseh that lives in Adrian. One lawyer, and 2 business owners, and then 1 community activist or whatever. So the community activist and the lawyer and 2 business owners are the ones that voted for. No, wait a minute. 1 business owner, 1 liar, a community activist, and the principal from the retired principal voted for it. And they walked into a bar. Yeah. I gotta go to the little boy's room and get a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. Well, that's good. Pretty girl. Huh? Are you pretty kitty? Again? Oh, it's the first time. What you doing, Pumpkin? That's a good girl. There it is. Yeah. She's just staring at me underneath the counter. Like, I'm waiting to attack. Come here. Come here. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Pretty girl. Yes, you are. Better than that ugly old dog down there Kevin's got. Yeah. Nose is all pushed in. Looks like it went head on into a brick wall. Yeah. It's okay. She just wants to be loved right now. Huh. It's a good girl. Evidently the bus was on time because Kathy's back already. Been back for a couple of minutes. No, I'm not trying to hurt the baby. I just want to pet the girl. Yeah. Oh, here comes Mama. Come in. The bus must have been on time, huh?
Oh, actually.
Yeah. I was at that Capnick's yesterday. Bought a great big cinnamon roll about this big. Kathy and I are going to share that for breakfast this morning. It was what, $3.50 or $3.99 or something like that? $3.50. I used to buy them all the time when I was on the garbage because I'd stop there every day. How big that is. But I would buy them. Oh, shit. It's on the floor over there.
Yeah, you can come get it.
I wanted to put it back in the
Oh, that's
basket.
too bad. Shouldn't have threw it.
I did. I wanted to put it in the basket and roll just like a wheel. Anyways, Jimmy Dean sausage egg biscuits, yeah. Um, anyways, I used to get them all the time when I was working at the garbage company because Catmix was one of my stops, and I had to drive by it going to Monroe and coming back, and I would go by there, depends on the day, 6 times a day. So they weren't open first thing in the morning, and they weren't open when I come back, but they'd be open by the time I was headed back to Monroe again for my second time. So I'd stop there and get a cinnamon roll and a cup of coffee, and I would head over to Monroe and then do my job, come back, dump, and then on my way back, I would stop and get, something else for lunch or whatever, and then head back to Monroe. That is a big cinnamon roll. But back then they were only $1.25, which I thought was a good deal. I was looking at pies they had yesterday. They want $17 for a pie. And I thought to myself, well, that ain't bad for a pie that they don't bake. They tried telling people years ago that they make all their pies in store. I was the garbage man. I know better than that. Because I used to dump hundreds and hundreds of pie boxes every week there that were in the containers. They'd buy pies from somebody else. They weren't baked, but they'd buy pies in boxes that weren't baked. And they would bake them and put them in their own container and sell them. Yeah, they may have baked them, but they didn't make the pie. Yeah, home baked. Yeah. Hmm. I think the next time the girls are here for the weekend, I have, we bought, how you want that? Funnel cake mix. I think I'll make some funnel cakes for the girls the next time they're here. No, Gretchen and Harley. I invited the girls to come over, but they said they were not going to leave the comfort of your house. They had life like Riley there. They weren't leaving. I said, okay. They told me a team of wild bulldozers couldn't drag them away from your house. No. And they had too much fun at the John Deere parade yesterday. I thought that was pretty neat of you. Give each one of them a John Deere to drive around the city square. Hmm. Well, you know, Steve, um, I don't have a hitching post out there. Well, anymore, you'd be a fool to ride a horse in town. There are so many unconsiderate or inconsiderate drivers that would blow the horn just to see how the horse would react. And it won't end up good for the rider. Now, Kevin, he has all them Amish people down there where he lives, and you know they go tooling around all day long. He gets in the little buggies with them, and you know ties the girls on the back. They all go for a trot. Well, you can have a horse on this road too. There's no law against riding a horse in the city, but it's not that. It's the inconsiderate drivers. There's the one. Those are the ones that are going to get you hurt. Yeah, I got rubber shoes on. Yeah, they got Nikes. Yeah. Well, it's not. I don't think it's too good on the horse um, to constantly have them with steel horseshoes on concrete and asphalt. It doesn't actually give them any grip because they slip on the concrete and asphalt. I know the Amish people, they use, you know, horseshoes, steel horseshoes all the time, but I would think it'd be bad for the horse. Well, there you go, Steve. Take a course on how to be a farrier. That way you can learn how to shoe horses. There's good money in it. Feed your horses 87 octane. There you go. Yeah. I think next month, May, they start to, it might have been this month, I ain't for sure. I never go to them. The first Fridays. It was probably this month. The first Friday of every month, they shut down downtown at 3 o'clock. You can't get in and out of there after 3 o'clock. So people that work downtown, they have to get their cars out of there or they can't get them out until Saturday morning. So, but they shut it down and they have, you know, a downtown festival every first Friday. Well, they used to have car shows downtown. And they decided they didn't want to have the car shows no more. So the car shows, they went over here to the fairgrounds the first Friday. The car shows get more people there on first Friday than they do downtown. And they have food vendors and everything else here on the first Fridays. Downtown, they have a couple of food vendors, but they're in the back parking lot and you have to walk a quarter mile to get to them. These right here are right in the fairgrounds. You just walk right in and there's no cover charge or nothing. You walk right in, it's free. That's probably the reason why gas went up. They had to add the extra additives in it. Sometimes there's 100 cars here at the car show. And they have vendors there that sell all sorts of stuff. They sell leather goods, you know, home crafts and food and whatever you want. I mean, you can find, they have guys that sell parts there, you know, for custom cars or whatever. No, it's not a car show swap meet. No, it's just a regular car show. But they have, you know, vendors there that do home crafts or whatever, and they just did it that way. And food vendors there because they want a large crowd there. They're trying to prove a point to the city of Adrian that the only reason why people went downtown was to see the cars, and that's about the truth of it. Because like 1/3 the people are going to that now, the city of Adrian, that were going there before. A lot of them come here to the car show, and then we'll go to downtown later on in the day. They don't usually buy anything because, you know, they've already bought everything here at the car show. So it's their own damn fault. Once again, the city didn't know what the hell they were doing, you know. I did one first Friday, and I got a video of it on Grab-A-Dog. But I did one first Friday, and they put me on a side corner away from everybody. But we still did like $450 worth of sales that day. But if I'd have been downtown with everybody, I'd have probably did $2,000 or $3,000 worth of sales that day. Huh. Probably because they can't get any help. Our Murphy's here is always hiring. And they offer to pay you every day. After you clock out, you can go into a website and it tells you how many hours you worked and it'll pay you right then. You can get paid every day. Which I think is great because, you know, if they go out of business, you're screwed. You might as well get paid every day. If they go out of business after you work 8 hours, you're only losing 8 hours of pay. If they go out of business after working a week, you lose a week's worth of pay. So, you know. And we paid $3.99 for these yesterday. But if you guys get a chance, there's Stofflers, Staufffer, Stoffers, Staufffer''S, Stoffer Snaps cookies. These are lemon. I'm telling you, they are fantastic. We bought these at McCapnick's. I don't know where you can get them at, but well, you know how it is. They're only going to fix it when somebody else buys it. So. She's yelling at the cat. You're going to get spanked. They do a car show at the Lenawee County Fair on the first Fridays of every month. Just ask Jack Still. He's in charge of it. No, you don't win a car. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey, yeah. She's giving that cat hell. I think the reason why she does it, the cat does it, is because she just wants, you know, aggravate Kathy a little bit. Yeah. But she knows when Kathy's had enough because she'll sit there and stop. She'll lay right down. Okay, I give. You want to try it? Yeah. Don't back down there, Spirit. Show her who's boss. Oh, here she comes. Go on, Pumpkin. Get up here. She must have seen something through a window. Come on, get up here. Get up here. Come on. I'm not playing with you. Let's go. Are you in trouble? Did you get in trouble? Huh? Did you get in trouble? Did Donna yell at the baby? Yeah? Did they catch him? I see the Supreme Court said that Trump can keep deporting under the Enemies Act. But you can't see it good? Okay. I see they took down the GoFundMe site of the fund, whatever it is, for that kid that killed the other kid. They returned all the money and took down the site. So, oh yeah, they offed him, did they? I'd still send them back in a body bag. We don't want that filth buried here. Might contaminate some soil. And I like the way J.D. Vance said the other day that not one blade of grass had to be owned by China, and I believe that too. So I think we had to just start confiscating all the land that China bought and give them back their money. It's on the first Fridays. I don't know what time it starts, but usually there's cars piling in there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I know it'll be there the first Friday of May. So, but get a hold of Jack Still. He can tell you more about it. He's one of the guys that's one of the ones that founded it over here. I've never been there either, because basically up until I didn't get my new knee until the middle of July, until the end of July. I wasn't able to walk until halfway decent until September, but that's still a lot of walking. But I will go to a couple of them this year. Come here. Come here. Come on. Hey. Come here. Get up here. What's the matter? Huh? Nana being mean to the baby. We're not being mean to the baby. Was she? I wouldn't take that from her. Yeah, they have that over here too. What I call it, I think it's called the Westwood Cruise or something like that. Westwood Avenue Cruise. I can't remember the name of it, but they do that here. I don't know when they do it, but or how often they do it, but I know it's every summer they do it. Good morning, Miss America. Again. You gotta quit being mean to that kitty cat. She's as, you know, pure at heart as the day is long, and you're just being pure mean to her. She wouldn't harm a fly. I take that back. She does not like flies. She'll run all over this house until she catches it. If there's a fly in the house, she'll run all over until she catches it. Now tomorrow morning, I'm gonna start my live stream on YouTube. I'm gonna see if it works, because I'm about out of my time on StreamYard. So, burger with a side of flies. That's right. So if it works, I'll be on YouTube. If it doesn't work, then I'll have to switch it to StreamYard. So, just to let you know. Oh, you like that, don't you? Yes, you do. Right behind the ear. There we go. Just purring like a kitty cat. Nana being mean to the baby. Huh? Was she being mean to the girl? I know. I know, baby. I know. She just doesn't understand you. Yeah, I got all that commercial money. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, she's in kitty cat heaven. You gotta leave Nana's blinds alone. Yeah, Pumpkin. Hmm. Those are some expensive sons of guns. Yeah. They ain't them cheap plastic ones, baby. Uh-uh. No. Yeah. Woodward Cruise. Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember the name of it, but Woodward Avenue. Yeah. Mr. Mock cruises that. Oh yeah. Well, she likes looking out the blinds at the squirrels and the birds, but they're wooden blinds, and I don't know if she can break them or not. But oh yeah, he bought a Chevy. She's just having the time of her life right here. She's loving this. 1955, yeah. Yeah, that's older than you. Older than me. That'd be nice. Or a 65 or 66 goat. They pretty much look like a Chevelle. Huh. That was probably about the price of scrap back then too, wasn't it? A ton, $10 a ton. Hmm. I tell you what, I wish I had all the cars now that I had when I was younger. And my thumb is really killing me. Yeah, brand new one for 1,500 bucks. Yeah, I did too when I was younger. I had some great cars. Wish I'd have kept them. Back then in the 70s and 80s, you know, if a car blew up, the engine blew up, most generally, you know, and it had 100,000 miles on it, they just junked the car and buy another one because it was already worn out, you know, 100,000 miles on a car. Well, now you're getting 350,000 miles on a car, you know, but they junk that car and buy another one, and a lot of them went right to the scrapyard or went to the junkyard. Huh. Huh. I wonder why. I had a 55 Ford two-door Fairlane. I bought that from a guy that needed some money. It was a fixer-upper. I didn't get it fixed up, but I ended up making money after I sold it. There you go. All right, everybody, it's time for me to get out of here. Y'all have a great day. God bless. Take care. Prayers and peace. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard if you're so inclined to join me. Have a blessed day, everybody. Take care.